Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Guild Wars strategy. I think there's actually a particular strategy that you can use to maximize the points that you can get from Guild Wars. So first of all, I'm going to explain how Guild Wars work. Basically, when Guild Wars start, you have your opponent and yourself set up in teams of 6. The entire 30 people of the guild are split into 6 different, I guess, positions that they're taking. 5 of them are here and 5 of them in all other of the 6 spots, and you have to beat each tier before you can advance. So, for example, you need to beat this barricade-looking thing before you can take on the opponents in the castle, and then you need to beat both castles before you can take on the royal crown, basically, right? And each step that you are able to attack, like for example, if you defeat the opponents in the barricade, you will get, say, 100 points or something like that. You'll get a small number of points, and if you attack the opponents in the second step, like for example in the castle, you actually get higher points. And if you attack the opponents finally in the crown, you get even more points, right? So the idea to maximize your points is that you want to completely eliminate the crown as many times as you can. So that actually presents a problem because first of all, there is 30 opponents, right? Like you need to beat all 30 of them, and you have 30 units for yourself, but each of the people in your team gets 3 attacks. So basically you can do 90 attacks, but you only have 30 opponents. So once you completely kill one of these things, like for example, if you eliminate all 5 players in the barracks, after 6 hours it respawns. And there is the problem. So let's say that, me and a friend of mine in my guild are on right now, and the guild war started. So since we're the only 2 people that are on, I'm going to completely, take out 3 of these opponents, and my friend takes out 2. So this barracks is down, and he attacks the second barracks or something, right? And then now for the next 6 hours, everyone else is sleeping. So we contributed 6 attacks, but for the next 6 hours, we don't get any more attacks in. And 6 hours later, when everyone else wakes up, the damage that me and my friend did is actually completely gone because now it has respawned. And now to get to the castle, my guild has to actually break down the barracks a second time. So it's like those 6 attacks, sure, I get like 100 points. I mean, the 2 of us contributed 600 points towards the guild, but we actually end up missing out on a lot of points that we should have gotten because now we have to, other members of my guild have to waste attacks on breaking down the barracks again before they can get to the castle and eventually get to the crown. So the best way to do this is actually if you need to have enough attacks to completely wipe out the board at least once. Because if you only half-heartedly do it, like if only say I don't know, if only 7 people are on and all 7 of you use all your attacks and you're able to break down both of the castles, but you don't have enough attacks to attack the crown, that's basically a waste, right? Because the crown is where you get a lot of points. I think you get something like 700 points per attack or something. Like it gives you a lot of points for killing that crown. But you basically waste that if you don't actually get a chance to attack. So that's the problem. So you have to make sure that you organize, guild has to be organized in such a way that you are able to work together as a team and break down the barricades, break down the castles, so that as a team you can actually get to the crown. Now there is a little bit of what is it called, like conflict of interest, because as a player, if I attack the crown, I actually get more points than if I attack the barricade. So maybe I might want to attack the crown. I will let my guilds attack the barricade, and then I will save myself for the crown. That's actually not going to really help you, because sure, you personally might get more points by attacking the crown, but there doesn't really seem to be any personal reward. It's just the guild, like the total score of the guild depends on if you win or lose, right? Like if your total guild score is higher than your opponent's total guild score, then your guild wins. And if you look at the guild rankings as well, it's all based on the points. Like right now, the two guilds that we are facing, we both have 1 win, but the other guild has 2 ranks higher than ours because they actually got an overall higher total points. So we have to actually work together to make sure that we capture the most amount of points, and we have to let go of self-interest because it doesn't really help. Like, I don't see any place here that gives out individual rewards for the number of points that you have on your guild. Sure, it might show you a ranking list and it might say, hey, you have the highest points in your entire guild, but it's meaningless. You really want to work together as a team to break down the opponent's barricades, and the castle, and eventually get the crown. And there's another thing to talk about as well, because usually guilds organize themselves such that the stronger players are actually in the crown and the weaker players are up in the barricades, because they don't want players to to be able to kill off the crown. So if you are a weaker player, maybe you want to spend all your attacks attacking the barricade so that your stronger guildmates are able to attack the stronger targets. So you should organize yourself in such a way as well. Like, you have to try to don't waste your attacks, right? Like, try to attack someone that you are fairly confident that you will win against. And so how should you organize yourself, right? Like, I mean, you have 90 attacks and you have 30 opponents. So if everyone is able to kill an opponent once, basically you can split yourself into three groups, right? The first 30 attacks will completely wipe out the first wave. The second 30 attacks will completely wipe out the second wave 6 hours later. And then in 6 more hours, the third set of attacks will completely wipe out the third wave. Now, this can work in in theory, but in reality, it won't work as nicely, because sometimes you will just not be able to kill off an opponent with one attack. Especially as we just started Guild Wars. This is the second day, but especially in like a week or a month from now, when teams are more in line with where they should be in their ranking, your fights will be more closely aligned. It won't be like a total, you won't be getting slaughtered, and you will not be slaughtering the opponent either. It'll both probably be more closely aligned, and in that case, you might have close fights. Like, you might not be able to completely wipe out a team with one attack. So you won't actually be able to kill 30 sorry you won't be able to kill 90 opponents with 90 attacks. You might only end up killing, like, say 60 or something, right? So what I suggest you do is pick a time as a guild where at least half of your entire guild will be on within a 6-hour time frame, and that half of your guild will have to use your attacks within that 6-hour time frame to completely wipe out as much of it as they can. Hopefully there is some attacks that are left over. Like, hopefully you don't use all 45 attacks to kill 30, but hopefully you have some left over, and whatever is left over, that can carry on to the second wave. And again, in the second wave, everyone there should use all your attacks to completely wipe this out as much as you can within the next 6-hour time frame. And after that, whatever is left over, you guys can attack and try to break down as many castles and barricades as you can, right? Like, when you start, you should actually focus on what barricade 1 and then barricade 2, and then you should go for castle, because to attack the castle, you need to only attack the 2 barricades in front of it. You don't need to kill all 3 barricades to attack a castle. So that's how you should be focusing on, especially if you're down on players, and if it's a third wave and you know that you don't have 30 attacks to attack the crown. So what you want to do then is to wipe out 2 of the barricades and try to get as many attacks in on the castle as you can. That's how you maximize your points. So overall, it's only the second day that we're doing Guild Wars, but I kind of like that it does involve a team effort, and we have to kind of coordinate our attacks and pick a time to attack and things like that. It's a little bit more strategic than some other variations of Guild Wars that I've seen. So I kind of like this one. And I also like that it respawns in 6 hours. Like, I think the whole thing is done. It's one of the better models I've seen. So I kind of like it. Of course, right now there might be some, disagreements right now, because you're getting paired up against an opponent that's like so much more powerful than you or so much weaker than you. But that's just because, Guild Wars just started. It's only your second day. As it goes on, rankings will iron out, and you'll probably be getting matched up with an opponent that's more closer to you. But right now, Guild Wars just started. We're just ironing things out. Just hang around with it for a bit, and I'm sure that soon enough, you will probably be getting matched with a peer that's around your rank. So anyway, that's all I have to say for the Guild Wars. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have other questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll do my best to help you guys out. And that's it. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.